Hello. So your makeup has arrived and you're so excited, but you're unboxing it and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with how to set up your compact, how to apply it, all the things. So I'm making this video just for you so that you can know how to properly set up your compact. I'm gonna go over some troubleshooting issues that you might come across, but also I want to just invite you to reach out to me if you're having any issues whatsoever. So the first thing we're gonna do is your package has arrived in the box and all of the tins are in their cute little packaging like this. And this is how they open if you aren't even aware how to open them. So you're gonna just open up all of your creams and get them laid out. And then I'm gonna show you how to put them into your compact. So this compact is already built. This is the palette 12. So likely you started with either the palette 12, maybe you got the palette 18. Those are the most common ones, but regardless of what palette size you got, it's gonna be pretty similar. So the most important thing you're gonna wanna do is we're trying to keep your creams on one level, and then we're gonna put your powders on another level, meaning your eyeshadows or powder, illuminator, anything like that. So that's gonna be the goal with setting it up. So just open up all of your tins, and there is not necessarily a right or wrong way on how to lay out your tins in your compact, but there's definitely some things that you might want to keep in mind. So I personally like to have mine, let me show you my personal compact really quick. So this is my personal compact and I have multiple shades. So depending on how many colors we recommended for you when you got started, you may have 2 of these or you might have 3. I have 4. So I love to be able to have variety with the colors that I choose. So you do not need to have 4. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just want you to kind of keep in mind that there's not only one color that might work for you. So keep that in mind as you start your application. If you have any issues with your colors, let me know and we'll talk more about that in a second. But what I'm going to want you to do is I'm going to want you to organize your creams in the order of darkest to lightest. And maybe there's only just 2. Just put the darker one on top and the lighter one on bottom. And then that's going to keep you instinctual as you're applying, that you know what order you're going to apply them in. Okay, so you're going to have all over your main shade, and then you'll have your brightening lighter shade. Okay, I have multiple. So if that's the case when you're setting up this compact, you can have, so this is my darker shade, and then this is the lighter shade, okay? Then I'm gonna have, this is a lip and cheek color. So depending on how many lip and cheek colors you started with, you may have more than these, but just try to keep them next to each other. And then in my compact, I have the contour color, my cream illuminator, and my bronzer. You can notice I have the cream bronzer right next to my cream illuminator. And I do that intentionally so that when I'm working into my bronzer, if I accidentally get into the tin that's next to it, the illuminator isn't gonna hurt the bronzer. It's just gonna make it a little bit more shimmery. So I also put the bronzer in the far corner so that I also don't have to be careful where I put my brush. So if I get out a little bit, it's totally fine. You'll see in my compact, I actually cleaned it up the other day because I was like, wow, this is really dirty. But you can see I am not always careful. And these are 2 different bronzers that I use. And then this is actually a darker illuminator. So this is my bronzing region that I have. So that is one of my recommendations for your placement of your bronzer. Just put it in the corner, okay? So that's gonna be your top layer. Most likely this is where most people start with, but if you've ordered multiple lip and cheek colors or more, if I gave you a color correcting highlight color, or you did multiple illuminators, like so many different things, you may have the larger compact, but just try to set it up similar to this where you're going to have your creams in one area, put your bronzer in the corner. Again, there's no right or wrong way. It's just the more that it's organized in a way that's instinctual of how you're going to do your makeup, the easier it's going to be. Okay, so that's going to be your top layer, and then on your bottom layer, it's not as important. These are mostly just going to be your eyeshadows, so you can put these in. Notice that the eyeshadows are not perfectly square, so sometimes they can fit a little bit better. They're just slightly longer on one end, so sometimes if you're like, wait, this isn't fitting in here very well or something, it's usually just, you just need to turn it. So sorry, I was getting a call. Okay, so just set up your creams or your powders like this. If you are having any questions or issues once your makeup has arrived, definitely reach out to me. Please do not be afraid to text me or email me or reach out to me on Instagram, and I can answer your questions that way, okay? As far as application goes, the biggest thing that I'm gonna want you to remember, some of you may have come in person and had me apply your makeup, or you may have been matched virtually. Either way, sometimes the colors, as you wear them, if you're noticing any issues with your makeup enhancing texture, or if it's looking heavy, those are usually color issues, okay? So if you're seeing texture, it means that the color is too light. It's not an issue that the makeup doesn't work for you. So we just need to troubleshoot the color. So reach out to me and let me know. Send me a photo of you with the makeup on. That will help me figure out whether it is a color issue or if it's an application issue, or depending on what brushes you're using. But I am here to help you through any of those challenges, okay? If it's looking like it's sitting on top of your skin, that's either that it's too dark or that you're applying too much. So when you're first starting with creams, it is very, very common to use a heavy hand. It's just like, because of our history with makeup and the way we apply liquid foundation and that kind of stuff, it can be very easy. So if you're applying too much, it can feel thick. It can also feel like it's transferring or like it's rubbing off on things. That usually means that you're applying too much, or we need to work with either like a primer or how we're going to use a setting powder. Usually, if you've talked to me about your makeup, you probably know I do not recommend setting powders, setting sprays, primers, or any of that until we try the makeup on you first. Then I will recommend those kinds of things for you, because I just am all about keeping things simpler and not introducing other products that are just going to clutter your makeup bag, take more time, make you spend more money, all those things. My goal is to make things as easy as possible for you while getting a beautiful result. So if you're having issues with longevity or the texture or anything like that, reach out to me and I can help you. But hopefully you have an amazing first experience and you're applying your makeup and you will be just rocking it in no time. There is a little bit of a learning curve, so keep that in mind. It kind of can just take a little bit to get used to. This is a little bit of a different process than traditional makeup, so give yourself some grace and know that it just can take a couple times, but I am here to help you every step of the way. So if you are having any issues whatsoever, please do not hesitate to reach out to me in whatever capacity: email, text, DM, Facebook, Instagram, whatever works for you. I am here to help you, and I am so excited for you and your new makeup routine. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon.